Here we are again. All right, out there. Everybody watching, everybody ready? We are getting going. It's time for another show. Are you ready out there? All right, that's right. I'm back. I'm your host, Jessica Kotch, and this is Profound Professionals. It's an interview series that has been coming to you for 10 years now. I have loved sharing with you industry experts from all over the globe, and they help you in so many brilliant ways. They help you improve your personal life, they help you grow your business, and today is no different. We have Benson Fischer. He is a serial entrepreneur who created 60 operating businesses and now operates ZivZo, right? ZivZo
ZivZo.
Marketing Group. ZivZo. We are going to talk about the name of that company. But welcome, Benson, today.
Thank you, Jessica, for having me.
It is my pleasure. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your journey. It's 60 businesses. That is a lot of businesses.
Well, a lot of them were restaurants. So, wow. I started right kind of in the middle of college. My brothers and I opened up a frozen yogurt store in Washington, D.C.
Oh,
called,
that's awesome.
called Yummy Yogurt. And we learned pretty quickly that you just could not survive on having frozen yogurt. So we expanded into salads and sandwiches and opened more stores and eventually franchised the concept and then sold the overall business. From there, I went on and opened up, dozens of restaurants. A lot of them were independent, Mr. Pepperoni's, Buffalo Bill's, Montana Steakhouses. There's just, a lot of restaurants. And I ended up buying the Papa John's area franchise for the DC area, where there are only 6. No, there are 10 Papa John units operating in Maryland and DC. The former operator was doing a terrible job. So they came to me somehow, and I ended up making a deal with Papa John's and turning all those stores around. And then we did such a good job, Papa John's exercised their right to buy us back, and they did. Unfortunately, looking at Papa John's today, I would like to have the whole DC, Maryland market, but wasn't meant to be. So I found myself in the real estate business. I had a brokerage firm where we did a lot of restaurant transactions, sales, and finding them leases. And we even worked for franchise companies to find qualified franchisees. And after that, what did I do? I bought a large manufacturing plant called Montgomery Donut. They made donuts, famous brand in the Washington area, and bought them out of bankruptcy. Turned the company around, and we got large contracts with Starbucks and other companies in the Mid-Atlantic region, and it was starting to make some money. And there was a huge blizzard in the DC area in 2003, and the roof collapsed on the manufacturing plant.
Oh, no.
That was the end of that business. Which was actually good because we had a lot of insurance, and it was a hard business. A bakery business is difficult with trucks on the road and people making food products in the middle of the night. It was a lot of hours in that business. But fortunately, and this is interesting, I was able to find a contract donut manufacturer that made the donuts to our recipes.
Wow.
And it produced more profit than I ever could have made operating the business or the bakery prior to the roof collapse. It was great because I'd get orders from my clients, and I'd send the contract manufacturing the orders. They deliver to the like a Starbucks warehouse, and I didn't have to leave the house. It was great. And that lasted for about 3 years until Starbucks went to frozen product, and I didn't have frozen product, and that was Then after that, I was in a Safeway supermarket, and I saw a Coinstar machine, which I'd never seen before, and it interested me. I talked to the store manager and learned a lot about it, and went out and created my own coin counting machine, and went after a bunch of supermarkets in the DC area and got a few of them. And we were processing about $30 million in coins on the first year. And then we started going after customers of Coinstar, different supermarket chains, which irritated them to the point that they bought us out. So that was a good result for that. And
wow.
Let me see what I do after that. I'm always on the move. It's like I'm in the middle of one business and I'm thinking about another one. And then,
I feel like, I know, I always want to say this right. ZivZo. In a minute, we should talk about that name. Is a marketing group, but I feel like you should be in the business of there. At this point in the world, I've seen a lot of things shift, and it seems like you pay attention to what's happening. Like, right, you watch the trends and what do people need now, right? And
it's funny that you said entrepreneur, and I don't really consider. I do consider myself a little bit of an entrepreneur, but more of an opportunist. I see opportunity, and I may not invent that wheel, but I see opportunities to make the wheel better in certain circumstances. And being a small operation compared to the big conglomerates out there, we can move pretty quickly if we see an opportunity and jump on it, and then exploit all the opportunities that come with that. And I found that, I tell you what, I forgot one of my deals was I created a beer called Redneck Premium Beer. And this was back in 1995 when Jeff Foxworthy got hot with his redneck comedy routine. And I ended up making a deal with Stroh Brewing Company, which is an old brewing company that Miller bought. And we sold beer in 32 states and had 300 distributors. And everybody told me you couldn't do it. You couldn't compete with the big boys. And that's one thing I've learned. You can compete with the big boys. A lot of times they're slow. They don't move quickly when there's an opportunity. And there is opportunity out there, especially today in the world of marketing, because the internet has kind of leveled the playing field for people with smaller companies. They have a great website and it looks like they're a giant company, and you can be anything you want today on the internet. So you are able to compete on an even playing field with some of these larger companies, even though you don't have the assets they may have in the marketing company they're using or all the tools that a large company has. But in today's world with the internet, there's opportunities that for small business operators that never were there before. And it's just amazing how the internet has changed small business. Really.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, let's talk about the name of your business and what your marketing group does.
Well, I wanted a name for my marketing agency that meant nothing, like Roku or Hulu or something like that. So I sat on GoDaddy for 2 months looking for a name. And you go on to GoDaddy today and try to find a good domain name. It's almost impossible. It's crazy. And then you come across a name you like, and it's $100,000 to buy the name. So
yeah.
I was looking for a name that's 5 letters or less, that meant nothing, that was something I could use. And after about 2 months, I found ZivZo, and I bought it it was like $750 from GoDaddy, and here I am. But it's interesting that I get that question a lot. How'd you come up with that name? It's like it was hard to find a decent name. It's like, okay, I'll take this one, right? It was that kind of thing, because the name really, you want a short URL. and any name of your company. The shorter the URL, the better. So
yeah, well, a marketing group that takes you all the way through the alphabet, right? Right, you land right on Z.
right, right.
So what does your marketing group do? Tell us all about.
Well, we do marketing and advertising for virtually any kind of business. Because of my background, I'm pretty quick to understand the overall business plan of somebody's different business. And we represent a variety of clients, from porta potty companies to heart and lung transplant surgeons. So, and because I was in the restaurant business and the franchise business, we do a lot of restaurants and franchise company marketing as well. But, I think people come to us because they know that I have a background in business, and it's not, most marketing agency executives have never actually owned and operated a business. I have. So I understand the pitfalls that, entrepreneurs or small businesses have. And I understand both sides of the coin because I was there. I did it. I've walked a mile in most people's shoes. And when it comes to creating and operating a business and starting a business, it's, there's a lot of things that you think but you don't. Once you get into it, you learn the hard way. And I can save people a lot of time, effort, and money because I've learned the hard way. Any mistake any entrepreneur has made, I've made. So I can tell people, don't do that or do this, and you can. There's other ways to do things to get to the end zone, and I think that resonates with a lot of potential clients. That when they talk to me, they understand that I've been around the block a few times, been mugged on that block a few times, and so that creates a little more trust in who they're hiring, and so it works out that way. So, and I enjoy it. I like it because I am helping people, saving them a lot of time, effort, and aggravation by not only giving them good marketing and advertising, but my business background and my advice comes free. So that always is a plus.
Yeah, that's a big plus. So if I'm out here listening, tell me if I'm your right ideal client. So I'm possibly a restaurant. Is it all brick and mortar businesses? Give us kind of a rundown of the industries or the types of companies that are really getting the best result with you and seem to be your best clients.
Well, it's interesting that we have done, a lot of brick and mortar, a lot of retail, a lot of restaurants and operating businesses. Like I mentioned, the porta potty companies, which was a lot of fun doing that account because the fellow who owned that account had a sense of humor that was beyond belief.
You have to, I would imagine.
Let us do some really crazy commercials and things like that. We had a lot of fun with him. Heart and lung transplant surgeon. What do I know about surgery? But he was promoting books and different speaking engagements, and we helped him pushed his books and got him more engagements. And we had a company. One of our clients is a company that teaches moving companies the art of moving commercial businesses, not residential. So we did a lot of moving business marketing, a lot of restaurants, and just like everything in between. So it's anything that.
I'm sorry, I was going to say, so if they're frustrated with their marketing, or if they feel like they're not moving the needle, or they need some growth, and they think marketing is the way to go to look at it, it doesn't matter what industry, they can come to you?
Pretty much. But what's interesting is I find that today's business owner that are in their 50s, 60s, they don't get a lot of the nuances with marketing today. And the marketing today is so much more precise than it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, where you can track everything. You can know what's going on. You can see how many people are clicking. You can see how many people are reacting. And a lot of that generation is afraid of some of the internet marketing because they don't understand it. They don't know how to do it. So I'm lucky enough to understand enough to explain it to them. And I have a staff that explains it to me. So So it works out pretty good.
I think one of the smartest things a business owner can do is, first of all, outsource and hire experts in different areas and consultants that meet the need for different parts of their company. And secondly, hire people that are way smarter than them.
Right. Always do that. You can't go wrong with that. You know, it's funny because I went to meet with a client. He had a large restaurant chain, and he had 6 people on staff doing marketing. And I looked at what they're doing, and I said to the owner, we can do it for a third of the price you're paying all these people. Because a lot of people that companies hire know what they know, but they don't know what my staff knows altogether. And we have the ability to do things.
And it's just changing so fast. It's changing so fast.
Right.
Like you have to keep up on it. And that's a lot of effort.
Even today with AI, it's just unbelievable how AI has affected the marketing business.
Every day there's something new coming out.
Right.
Every day.
Every day.
Multiple things, actually, not just one thing.
Right. And I got to learn all these new programs, and it's like, oh my God, I don't have enough bandwidth in my head.
I know. I feel you. So anything else about your, I think we need to know now, what's the next step? So how, if they're thinking, okay, I could use this kind of marketing support and business wisdom from Benson and his amazing team. What is my next step to reach out to you? Is it to just go to the website, or where do I go next?
Call me, give me a call. Because here's the thing. That's another thing that I do is I talk to every client. I don't pass them off on an associate. I am the point person. And I want to talk to you and learn about your business. And the more I understand your business, the more I can help you. But you deal with me typically throughout our relationship. I'm involved in all the aspects of the marketing programs, and we commiserate, or we come up with, a marketing plan with you, and we make it, we work around your budget, and we show you how to make it work and how to get results. And that's the key to anything. You're not hiring me or my company or my staff to do your ads and marketing. You're hiring us to get results. And that's the key, is they don't hire someone because they make nice graphics. You look for somebody who's going to deliver the results you need. You want a return on your investment. And and I tell people, look, if I don't get your return on your investment, you're going to fire me. So I got to deal with getting a return on your investment. And that's my goal. So it is to make sure that the marketing plan works and it pays for itself. That's the key. If you can create a return on investment, so your marketing, it pays for itself and it's growing your business, that's the best of everything. You can't get any better than that.
So you said call you. So do they go to the ZivZo?
They go to the ZivZo.com. And there's, all kinds of phone numbers and forms they could fill out, or they can just, directly or email me directly, ben@ZivZo.com. And happy to talk to anybody.
That's awesome. Can I ask you something personal? And I didn't get your permission before we went live here to ask this, but I'm just thinking, all these businesses you've operated and all this, the amazing results you've had from them, and businesses you've, built and sold. And I would imagine you're pretty darn comfortable at this point. And now you're still talking to each and every client, and you've got this marketing group. I would imagine no desire to just retire and go sit on a beach, or
I'm getting close. But here's the thing. I like what I do, and that's important. You got to like what you do. And I find it fun. It's a lot more fun than operating restaurants, 18 hours a day.
I just feel like this may be your version of retirement, is running this company, because it doesn't seem like it would be something you would need to do in order to, keep the lights on, kind of a thing.
Well, I know, funny thing is I have a lot of friends who are retired, and they're just like, they don't have anything to do. And I don't want to be that guy. I like the action. I've always liked the action, the excitement of creating a business or creating a marketing program that works. That's really gratifying kind of feeling I get. You
I
know,
love that.
a comedian gets on the stage and he gets off because he's getting laughs, right?
Yeah.
That's gratification. My gratification is seeing a happy client and seeing a program work and seeing them get a return on their investment. So, you know, that you don't want to walk away from that because
Yeah.
it's just too much fun.
It's too much fun. It's like Steve Martin. I think that guy will go forever because he's just so funny and seems like he's having a good time in life. So,
Right.
yeah, I love that he plays the banjo. But that's what that makes me think of. He just keeps running on. He's one of my my husband and I's favorite comedians. So when you said comedian, he came to mind. So how about giving us an amazing tip, something that the audience possibly apply today that will make their business and life a little better?
Well, you got to get up to bat. If you don't get up to bat and take, you know, a swing, you never hit a home run. So, I mean, everybody, you know, that's pretty standard comment, I guess. I always tell people if you got nothing to lose. So get up there and take your shot. And look, everybody has a dream of some sort of business if they're in that if they're looking to create a business, and you got to go with your gut, and don't listen to people saying, oh, the big companies eat you up, or you can't do this, you can't do that. I have been told many, many times that you can't compete with those guys. They're too big, they're too strong, they have too much money.
And they just turned around and bought you out, and then you ended up with lots more money. So
exactly.
There you go.
So you can't restrict yourself because somebody who doesn't know anything about what you're thinking tells you shouldn't do it. And it's interesting that people sit on the sidelines and they make comments, and they're afraid to get in the arena. So if you're gonna do it, you got to get in the arena, and you gotta go for it.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I've talked to people and I thought they had the worst ideas in America, and all of a sudden they're making tons of money. So sometimes you just don't know,
Yeah.
It's interesting how things take off out of nowhere. And like it's like a viral commercial or viral video. Why did that one kick off and blow up, and why didn't mine, or the opposite?
Sometimes there's a logical reason and a formula that really works for why that happens. And then you're right. And then sometimes it's like, we have no idea why that one made it.
Sometimes you shake your head. I mean, look, I walk into a store, I see some product on the shelf, and I'm thinking, who would buy this?
Yeah.
Right. And I find out they're selling billions of them around the planet. So
I know.
Know.
There was a woman's clothing store. I won't name it, but it's not in business anymore. And I thought, why would they name it that? What woman is going to want to go shop and say, yes, this is where I got this dress, and say the name? I would never want that. That store is no longer around. I was right about that one. But I have to tell you, I feel the same way about a book series that calls me not very smart, and they sell billions of those. So I'm wrong about that one, apparently,
Right.
So
you just never know. So
you
just got to get in the arena. Don't worry about the guy sitting on the sideline who doesn't have the guts to get in the arena. Get in the arena and do it.
That's a great tip and good advice. One of the things I love about our show is we do take a moment of pause, and we hope to inspire someone to give time, treasure, or talent to a nonprofit cause. Either they care about and they just haven't thought about in a while because life got busy, as it happens, or that they get inspired to hear about yours. We like to spread awareness, so put yours in the comments. You just never know who might need it or need to know about it, or might want to also be inspired to support it. Spreading awareness is a really amazing thing you can do to support a nonprofit cause, as well as your time, treasure, or talent. So Benson, a nonprofit cause that you care about?
I am big on veterans. I think people in the military are not treated fairly.
Yeah.
I think we could do a better job treating our veterans a lot better than we have in our, today. I just think that laying your life down for your country is something that takes. That's somebody who's in the arena. Right, he's in the arena, and I think we should take care of these veterans better than we have, and I donate to that.
I love that.
So that's
That's awesome. And I'm sure near you out there somewhere is some sort of program that supports. There's so many good ones for
Yes.
that topic that you could support if that inspires you. So take a look at that. How about a book that inspired your personal life or helped you grow your business?
Well, I just there's one book I read called what's it called? Wait a minute. Oh, It's Not an Option. And it's about option tradings. And and it kind of changed my strategy when I do some stock market investments. And it works great. It's it's by the Nazarian brothers, who are guys that you see on TV on the business channels. And options are a way to control a lot of stock without a lot of risk.
Yeah.
And I found that it worked very well for me, and it limits your risk and doesn't limit your upside. So that was a good educational book, and I would recommend that book to anyone who is in the stock market. So that's the last book that I read that had some residual effects that were positive.
So it's called It's Not an Option.
Yes.
It's Not an Option. Okay. Sounds like a good one. I think I'll recommend it to my husband.
And
Maybe
in fact, they give you the book for free if you go to their website, and they'll send you the book. So, so it doesn't cost you anything to get the book.
Well,
but I found it very educational, and I've done very well with options due to that book.
That's awesome. Now, remember out there, you watching, we're having fun. We're sharing what's worked for us. We're sharing our ideas, our life experiences. We are not giving you legal, financial, or medical advice.
Right.
Don't give us a call if some options don't work well for you. That's on you out there.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a book I've been listening to, and that I think your clients would really like, and you would probably find interesting. And you'd probably think to yourself as you're listening to it, oh, I did a lot of that as you were running your companies. But it's called The 4 Disciplines of Execution, and it has 3 authors, and one of them is Sean Covey, Stephen Covey's son. And it's really fantastic. It is about exceeding a very specific, one wildly important goal, and the whole process that they've studied over the years to do it. And it's just really fascinating. If you like marketing books, I like them like candy. and that's a good one. It's a really good one. So so I thought I'd share that. Now you haven't read a book yet, but you've been in a compilation book. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I do some, I'm a contributing author to an online publication called Today's Restaurant News. And which is a great publication, and it goes out to obviously to the restaurant industry. And I do a lot of that, and I'm looking for opportunities.
A lot of business.
Pardon me?
Does that bring you some business?
Yes, actually. Yes.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Doing a keynote. Actually, that my being involved with the magazine Today's Restaurant News also was how I was contacted to do a keynote speaking engagement at the National Restaurant Show in New York in March. So I'll be up there talking about restaurant marketing and franchise marketing. That's in March. But you know how it works. One thing leads to another, and things just happen. But you got to be in the arena. Got to get in that arena.
Got to get out there. Now, before we move on and close out the show for today with your final thought, is there anything else about the business or you that you want to share?
Well, I always tell people you're a crackpot till you hit the jackpot.
Yeah, well, that's pretty good. I did want to ask you, I've been asking some of our guests lately. Legacy has been heavy and important to me as our business has gone through transition and changes. So what does legacy mean to you? I know you have some special things that your company can do connected to that?
We do legacy videos, and a legacy video that we produce is about 30 minutes, and it's a documentary on your life. And we have clients that want to have, you know, I mean, and it came to me because my grandfather, and most of my grandparents were died before I was born. And I always think about, wow, I would like to have met them, like to have heard them, like to have known them a little bit better. And so I started doing these legacy videos. And what we do is we take photographs and old movies, and we interview the person, and we put it all together, and we make a 30 to 40 minute video of their life. And it's great because, you know, it can be passed down from generation to generation. I mean, you know, if you could hear your great grandfather talking to you or talking about his life, I mean, that's pretty phenomenal stuff. So we started doing that, and you know, we got a lot of people that have done it, and you know, now we have it down to a science. We have kind of a method that we use, and it's not cheap. There's a lot of work that goes into it, but they come out they're fantastic products at the end of the day. And
there's something that the family can treasure forever, right?
Forever. I mean, and I always tell people it's a lot cheaper than putting your name on a building.
Well, and you know, it's also you get to a point in a person's life where I know for like family members that we love that are on in years, that they don't need anything. They don't want anything. They don't need anything. There's like nothing left to give them as a gift. And this gift actually is not just for the person, it's more for the entire family and the generation after them. So you know, if
I think it's the best gift you can give your family.
Yeah,
because it just keeps your legacy alive, and generations can see who you were and understand the family and where you came from. And I think it's a great idea for any family.
I wonder, do you ever get permission from the families to, you know, create like a YouTube playlist or something of all the different life stories that they've shared if they sign a release and let it to be public? Because I think that would be so awesome for people to see.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, you have to obviously get the family to give it the thumbs up, but then people could see what it's like, and they may be inspired by these people's lives, you know, and it's just kind of cool.
Right, it is. And you know, we're doing one, and the subject, the fellow doing the legacy video talks about the first car he ever had.
Yeah.
And he described it, the color down, the whole thing. So of course he didn't have a picture, but we, you know, get it online. I can find a picture of that car, that model, that color. Yeah. And we put it into the video, and he saw his car. He was like in shock that we, you know, were able to do that. So we go to the internet, we pick up pictures of certain items that they talk about and drop them into the video as well. So we make it, it's really a very customized product, and it's a first class product.
Well, and nowadays too, with the AI technology, you can pull together a lot of the story of their life and even make a custom song for the background that is really about them. Like, you know, I mean, what's available and possible now is, I mean, not a dry eye in the world watching these videos, I would bet, if done right. People's lives are moving, and they have triumphs and trials, and you know, I feel sad that there's so many people that are no longer here with us that lived great lives and did great things, and their story wasn't told. It's not in a book, it's not in a movie, it's not in a song.
Everybody has something, you know, and I always enjoyed talking to people that, you know, when I was a kid, I always enjoyed talking to older people and listening to their story. Yeah, because, you know, everybody has a story.
They do.
And there's, you know, you may think that guy may be the most boring person on earth, but sit down and talk to him, and they start asking about his childhood and what he did, you know, and you find out that people are more interesting than you think they are. And you know, I just, you know, I enjoy doing that. That's a lot of fun when we go shoot those kind of videos. So it's a nice thing to leave behind.
It is. It is. Legacy is huge and so important. I have been really enjoyed the interviewing you today, Benson. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you, Jessica.
Yeah, I hope you had fun here today too.
Yes.
That's good. And if you're out there thinking, wait, I can improve someone's life, I can help them grow their business, I can help them have generational wealth or create a legacy, well, come on, get on the show. My team, reach out to us and we'll let you know just how to get yourself featured here on Profound Professionals. Now, before we say goodbye, give us one final thought, some information or inspiration to close us out, Benson.
Well, my final thought is go with your gut. Don't let anybody detour you, and follow your dreams, and you'll be successful.
I love that. And one of my favorite parts of this episode was Benson saying, we all have a story. Your business has a story too. And when it gets out into the world correctly, it can really make a difference to your bottom line. So if you need your story told and you would like to reach more, I think you should reach out to Benson and ZivZo Marketing Group. And I am your host, Jessica Kotch. This has been another amazing Profound Professionals. If I don't say so myself, I will. And until the next one, be kind to yourself out there and be kind to each other. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.